Hi everyone! Welcome to our Thursday Beginners Flow. Let me get onto all of you here. How's everyone doing? Let me know who's here. How has your week been? I hope, listening to myself, yeah. I hope you've had a wonderful week. Sure, lots has happened, right? In the Jeff space this week. The new web app. We've got Kapana who's joined. I watched some of her workout this morning and the post workout chat. She is on fire. I am almost a little more terrified to do one of her sessions than series. But we'll have to see. I guess we'll see in the next few weeks how that goes. But the boxing sounded super cool, and like she's just a bundle of energy. So welcome to you, Kapana, to this platform, to this community. It's so great to have you here. And yeah, let me know who's here. Who's here? Roz, my first live in a long time. Yay! So glad you could make time to be here. There is just something different about doing these sessions live and catching up on recordings. Even though the recordings are great, so whoever's catching up on the recordings, well done for catching up on that. Guys, I see there's a few of you online. I always say this, if you're online, you need to be checking in. Swipe in, let me know you're here. All those one-on-ones, swipe in, let your coach know, tag your coach, tell them that you're doing your flow. Sandra, welcome, hi. Candace, hi, welcome. Thank you everyone for joining today. It's so nice to have everyone here, and it's so nice for me always to do these sessions live and just to connect a little bit with everyone, see where you're all at. Often we are all feeling pretty much the same. I think especially towards a Thursday, if your work week is a Monday to Friday, right? We completed most of it. Tomorrow is kind of like the last push until it's weekend. So yeah, lovely to be here. Hi Teresa. Hi Tam. Bronwyn, welcome. Lisa, welcome. Hi Coach Bronwyn. Rena Himan. Paige Garrett checking in. Well done everyone for making the time to be here. So if you've attended any of the sessions this week, you know it's joint orientated. It's mostly focused on our ankles and our wrists, finding some space in them as well as strengthening them. So we're going to continue with that work. It might be a lot of repetitive stuff that you've done this week, but there's nothing wrong with repetition, right? And so we really get the stuff ingrained in our body, in our muscle memory. And of course, the more you do it, the more it's there for you to remember it. So if we move kind of off this work next week, which we will, tomorrow I'll announce the theme for next week, which I'm very excited about. I think you guys are going to love it as well. But then you remember, right? So next time your wrist is sore, you can go, oh, we did a whole week of wrist work with Kathleen. So I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the exercises that I learned, and I'm going to do some wrist health work, recovery, mobility, movements. Hi everybody, Lizette, glad to be in time. Me too. You're very on time. We always say if you arrive 1 minute before yoga class, then you're like super on time. That's like a year in yoga time because the yogis are always kind of running into the class last minute. Cynthia, welcome. Shelly, Lauren, Lisa, welcome. You and I had a little chat earlier on. Very excited about it. I will announce that to everyone else tomorrow. And yeah, who has downloaded or who has connected to the web app? How are you guys finding it? Is it up and running for you guys? Who was not on a membership and has now signed up for a membership to be a part of the web app and the community? Let me know. How's it going? We've got Diona joining in here. Wendy Wilson, hi everyone. Again, all these lovely ladies popping on here. I want to see the guys. Where are the guys at? Where's everyone else at? Check in, log in. Everyone who's here, there's few of you who are on here, and I know that's not everyone checked in. So let me know you're here. Tag your coaches. Your coaches want to see that you're here doing flow. Everyone, today again, if you've just popped on, we are, hi Rita, we are continuing our journey of the joints. So that is focused mainly of wrists and ankles, and strengthening them, and of course releasing tension around them and getting a bit more space. So that really is key to our joint health, right? And preventative medicine. Um, if we keep on working on the fluidity and the movement of our joints, right, then that will stick with you for a very long time. If you stay very rigid and you don't move, then that's going to stick with you for a long time, and that's going to get worse and tighter and worse and tighter and worse and tighter. So well done for being here. I know it's been an intense week for a lot of you guys. But this is really your treat. This is your treat to yourself. We've got Nutan here, if I pronounce that correctly. Beverly, mine is up and running. Fantastic, Bev. That's so good to hear. That's Beverly Paulson. Exciting stuff. Bernice, welcome. Brett Thompson needs to get some flow on. Roz, yes. Everyone needs to be. I want to see everyone here. Caitlin, Debaka, first yoga session. Let's do this. Welcome, Caitlin. Welcome to your first session. Not too much to know. You guys will need a cushion and a mat, or a towel if you don't have a mat. And then just a nice, easy, quiet space. Don't overstretch. Breathe. Take a break when you need to. It is a guided practice, but in the end, you're responsible for your body. So you will really need to just look after yourself and use your intuition as you practice. Okay, almost time to start, guys. Looking forward to strengthening my joints. Amazing, Carla. I don't think my joints have ever felt that good as this week, because I've just been demoing wrists and ankles the whole week. Hi, Pedro. Lovely to see you. Charlene. Who else is here? Sue, welcome. We've got Michelle, my first session too. Welcome, Michelle. It's always great to have first timers in these beginner sessions. They're super slow. Take them at your own pace. And it really is about enjoying it, guys. So walking into this with a beginner's mind is the most important and the best thing you can do for yourself. Kanisa, welcome. I hope you're here since you dragged me out of bed. Kanisa, where are you that you're being dragged out of bed? Or are you out of bed after an afternoon nap? Anthea, enjoying the web app. That's so good to hear. Guys, we love your feedback. We love your inputs. We love these conversations, so keep having them. I think let's get started. So again, you can have a cushion nearby, always for these sessions. Welcome, Lizanne, for your second session, just as a bit of extra padding if you need. Okay, we're going to start standing. It is freezing in Hermanus, so I am in my JF socks, as you can see, and I'm going to keep them on until I've built some heat in my body. So let's just all come to stand, right? So loop your shoulders, feet hip distance apart, and I always use the analogy of the body in an anatomy book, right? Is always kind of standing out to the side, palms facing forward, and then close your eyes. And then I'd like for you to, as you would with perhaps your child, your partner, your friend, your colleague, maybe seeing them for the first time today, you know, your natural reaction would be, hi, how are you? So I'd like you for a few breaths just to have that conversation with yourself. So just meet yourself right now where you are. Just have that quick little conversation with yourself. Do a quick check-in. Okay. And then kind of take all that information and let it flow out through your exhale. Let it go. The next 45 minutes have not happened yet. And so let's choose to move from a fresh space, from a clean slate, from a fresh perspective, and just moving into 45 minutes of self-care, of healing, of nurture, of relaxation, of comfort, of indulgence. This is your time. Use it mindfully. Beautiful. And then let's gently open the eyes and bringing your hands to your hips. We're going to kind of move through the joints from the ground up. So let's bring our weight into our right leg. Gently raise your left leg. It doesn't have to be too high. You might immediately feel a bit of wobbling in your right ankle. That's fine. Keep a little bend in your right knee. So now we're putting some healthy pressure into that right ankle. And then opposite ankle left, we're just going to roll it around a bit. So just moving it around, softening through that ankle, and just releasing. You might feel a few cracks. Spread your toes, spread your feet. My shoulders are relaxed, they stacked above my hips, and my abdominals are slightly active here. Nice. All right. And then place left foot down and switch. Active left foot, that's weight bearing now. My right leg lifts slightly just so that I can move that ankle around nice and gently. Okay, remember the head itself is very heavy. So if you're going to lean your head forward, your balance is going to move forward or to the side or backwards. So try and stack the crown of your head pretty much above the tailbone and find that balance, right? That effortless effort. Change your directions and spread your toes and really move around in that ankle joint. Beautiful. And then let's round right foot. And then we're going to draw our left knee back up, point into your left toes. I'll just show you from the side so you can stay as you are on your mat if you like. And you're going to squeeze your left heel to buttock with your right knee. Take your left hand, reach for that foot, and then squeeze the toes towards the buttock. So now I'm stretching out the front. Whew, sorry, I've got a cramp in my hamstring. So I'm going to stretch into the front of my left thigh, and then I'm kind of holding onto my toes so I can stretch the top of my left foot. Okay, it's not about going to your furthest, going to your maximum. It's about this feeling like you're getting some opening and some release. So right hand can stay on right hip. My tailbone is sinking slightly down. I'm not pushing my bum out. Okay, belly's drawing slightly back. And from the navel up, I'm really neutral. One more breath. Nice. Release by drawing left knee up to chest. And then bring your hands around that knee and take a nice squeeze in as much as you can, maybe straightening out that standing leg. Nice. Release your hands. Release left foot. Left hand to hip. Right knee up. Right toes to point. Heel towards the buttock. Right knee in line with left. Right hand to that foot. And then squeeze right heel to buttock. Open the front of your right thigh. And the more you kind of tilt your tailbone down, right? So you want your pelvic bowl to be level to the floor. So I'm not tilting it forward or too much back. And I'm keeping my right knee in line. The more you do that, the more of a stretch you'll feel in the front of your right thigh. Beautiful. Let's take 3 more breaths here. So we can do as much time on one side as the other to balance it out. All right. Take a little bend in your left leg. Draw right knee up. Let's interlace around the right knee and then squeeze it up. Lower belly drawing slightly in. Crown of the head stacked above the tailbone. Beautiful. All right. Slowly release right foot. And then I'll just change to show you from the front again. So if you can see me, you don't need to be moving around. We're going to bring our left knee up. Soften your left ankle. And then knowing that this knee joint is a hinge joint, just start to move that leg forward and back. So really nice knee therapy this, where there's no weight on this knee. And at the same time, putting healthy compression and activation into your standing leg, strengthening the standing leg, and then working on mobility on the left side. All right. And then bring the left knee up a little more. This time flex into your left ankle. Take the left knee out to the side as far as you can go, and then take it all the way back and around. Do 2 more like that. Full hip circles to the left and back in. So now we're starting to really get into our hip joints with just a nice firm left knee. Beautiful. Draw that left knee up, and with a flexed foot, place it down. Right knee up, soft right ankle. And again, just that little bit of the activation into the left knee while we release around the right. I hope you're feeling some heat build. There's core activation involved and your breath should be flowing. Right. And then you'll bring your knee up. Remember, this is our starting point with our flexed right ankle. Let's get into that right hip. Move it around. 2 more circles to your natural range of motion. Getting a nice activation in that standing leg. Beautiful. Draw that knee up and ground that foot down. So nice. So we're going to come into a standing balance to get into our outer hips. Figure 4 balance. So most of you probably know the figure 4 stretch when you're lying on your back and you've got one ankle on the opposite thigh. So we're doing that. We're looking for that same feeling, but we're adding in balance and we're adding in compression into our standing legs joints, right? Healthy compression. So let's draw our left knee up, flex that ankle, bring your outer left ankle to your right thigh. Okay? Then you can bring your hands to your heart. And I'd like you to spread your palms and press your hands into one another. Lift your elbows up and draw your shoulders down. Hollow into your belly and press your hands so firmly into one another that you feel almost like a little lift into your armpits. Okay, you're going to stay here, hold your balance. And then for those who go a little further, you start to play with sending your buttocks back. And by sending your buttocks back, you start to lower down, lower down, lower down, lower down, potentially bringing elbows to that parallel shin. Don't worry, only go as far as you can. I'm just kind of showing you where the shape can go. Let's take one more breath. Okay, come all the way up. Good job, everyone. Release left foot. Bring your hands to your hips. Weight into left leg, right knee up, flex that ankle. Find that position of right ankle pressing into left thigh. Watch this left hip that wants to kind of poke out. Squeeze it into midline. Bring hands together. Press your hands into one another. Feel your armpits kind of wake up. And then don't crunch the shoulders up. Draw your neck away from your shoulders. And then from here, send your buttocks back. So lean your buttocks back, lean your chest forward, lean your buttocks back, lean your chest forward, and maybe you come all the way down. You should feel a nice stretch in your outer right hip. And then of course, your standing foot, your left ankle, doing a nice bit of stability work here. One more breath, stay with me. And come all the way up. Beautiful, lower right foot down. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Feet are a little wider than hip distance. I'm going to straighten my legs. And then almost like a hula hoop, we're going to just get into the hips, but nice and relaxed. And if you find a spot that feels really good, stay there. Take an extra breath or two. We'll move a few rounds. So hips to the side, forward and around. And again. So just keep going. Just moving the hips around in these big circles. Nice. Deep, full breaths. And I like to really move almost my torso forward here so that I get a little stretch in the back line. Let's change our direction. So nice, especially if you've been sitting all day or driving a lot, to just move those poor hips a little bit more. Release them. All right. Let's do 1 or 2 more rounds. And then we'll come to stillness. All right, I'm going to remove my socks. So if you have socks on, you could remove them now too. I'm sure you're warm enough by now. All right, again, I'm going to show you from the side, but you can stay on your mat as you are. So my feet are parallel. Have a look at them. Lift and spread your toes for a moment so you can almost see a little gap between each toe. And then lower them down. I'm going to keep a little bend in my legs here. I'm going to reach both arms up. And then take a big wide circle to bring my arms behind me. Interlace my hands. First movement, rolling my shoulder caps back. Right? So that's like my natural range of movement right here. If I just ask my shoulders to take themselves back. But then if I interlace my hands and I straighten my arms, then I can activate a lot more and get them maybe a little further. Only take this as far as feels comfortable. Let the hands move away from the buttocks if you can. And let's take 2 full breaths. Keep an activation of the lower belly. Nice. Slowly release. Reach both arms up. Straighten your legs now. Take a nice lengthening through the spine. And then sit down into a chair pose. So that's bending the knees. And let your torso become parallel to the floor. And from there, fold all the way down into a forward fold. Maybe now you straighten the legs out just a little more. So you can just allow the head to be heavy and the whole spine to drip down. Close your eyes. Deepen your breath. What a privilege it is to have a body that moves. What a privilege it is to have time to just indulge in your own wellness. And to really savor these moments in your body. Feed yourself with breath. Beautiful. Bend the knees to roll the spine up. So we activate our glutes. We draw our abdominals back. The head and the arms come up last. So keep them heavy. Roll up from the bottom to the top. And as you come up, you'll loop the shoulders. Let's bend the knees slightly. Draw both arms up. And then take the arms around and back behind you. Sorry, I tried to do Tamejuki. I'm just a bit close to my banner. Hands behind you. Change your interlace. And again, roll the shoulder caps back first. Then straighten up the arms if it feels comfortable. And then maybe move the hands back. And now in this round, you can almost start to let the pelvis tilt. So you're taking a little more of a kind of back bend here. But I'm still active in my belly. I'm just getting a more of a spinal extension. Maybe curling my ears slightly back. 1 more breath. Nice. Straighten out your legs. Neutralize your spine and your shoulders. Release your hands either side of you and draw both arms up. Come to sit into your chair pose. And then bring the torso parallel to the floor. Release your hands down. Tuck your chin. And then straighten the legs out a little more. All right, and now we're going to play a little side to side. So let's keep our left knee bent. And then just extend your right leg. So get into the back of that right leg. Firm your right kneecap. Firm your right thigh. And switch, bend your right knee, extend your left leg. Again, lengthen, soften, but strong in the front of that left leg. Nice. Bend both knees. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands on the floor and step onto your knees. Step back onto your knees. If you've got quite sensitive knees, I know a lot of us are working hard and the floor can be quite hard and sensitive for the knee sometimes. So then you would just come onto a cushion, right? And just give yourself some extra padding if necessary. Okay, so untuck your toes so that you're on the tops of your feet. Spread through your palms and spread through your fingers. So whenever we do any work on our hands, right, so stay there. We want the palm to be nice and spread, right, so it distributes the weight. And then we want nice active fingerprints. So it's almost a feeling of having like a little claw grip into the mat, because then you activate all the muscles around the hands and the muscles that protect the wrist joint. If I've got like a really floppy kind of soft hand, then I'm not going to be able to protect this joint. The weight is just going to dump into it. So active hands, and then we're just going to move around on our wrists. So just a gentle little massage, moving in circles. So an interesting fact for you, if you find it interesting, is that first fact is I have a twin sister. Change the direction in which you're rolling. And the second fact is that after doing yoga, we obviously pretty much we are identical twins, but after a few years of yoga, my hands are almost an entire little finger segment longer than hers, which it never was. So that's the expansion and the growth that is possible, you know, the potential opening of our body. Our bodies can become very small and tight when we don't open it up. All right, pause. And then you're going to start to turn your fingertips to face the edges of your mat. And as you go, rotate more and more and more until potentially your fingertips are facing your knees, okay? Tough one this. You might not have your palms on the floor. You might only have your fingers. That's fine. We're just stretching out into the wrists. Okay, so you're just going to hold here, soften around the wrists. Try not pick up any tension. Okay. My arms are pretty straight. I'm not crunching or collapsing into my shoulders. My neck is extending. My lower belly's drawing in. I'm supporting myself. Maybe you sit back a little more. And then you're just going to take 3 more breaths here. Don't overstretch, guys. So this takes long work, dedicated work to open these parts of your body that might be very tight or stiff or sore, or maybe you haven't ever really noticed or paid attention to it. Perhaps it's been neglected for many years, right? So it takes time to open it up again. Nice. Let's release the hands to face the palm, or the fingertips forward rather. Tuck your toes under now. Lift your knees a little so you can really get your toes tucked under. And squeeze your inner ankles slightly towards one another. Start to press your buttocks back. Keep your inner heels squeezing in. Press, press, press. And maybe you can bring your buttocks all the way to your heels. Don't let the feet flop out. Heels are facing straight up. Maybe you can see the inner line of the toes. They want to be equal and parallel. So you can maybe look back between your thighs, underneath your buttocks. Everyone relax your head. Nice. And then press back as much as you can, as much as is possible for you to open the feet. All right, let's come back forward. Slowly unravel the feet. So now you're on the tops of the feet and just take a little tap out here. Not hard, you're not hurting yourself. You're just releasing. Okay. Then, one of my favorite hand strengthening exercises. It's a tough one because you really get into your hands and your fingers, but it's really nice. So what you're going to do is you're going to come onto your fingerprints, your finger pads, right? So it's like a little starfish thingy. And you're doming through the inner, the center of the hand. You're pressing on your fingerprints. So bring your shoulders right above your fingers, dome a little through the upper back, and then just feel that out. So that already, right, intense kind of compression on those joints, healthy compression, as long as you're not feeling any pain. If that's enough for you guys, please stay there. For those wanting to perhaps add a little more or kind of suss this out, okay, you're going to tuck your toes under, you're going to lift your knees, and we're going to hold for 3, for 2, yay, strong wrists and hands for 1. Beautiful, lower your knees. Keep your toes tucked under, walk yourself back, bring your buttocks onto your heels, your shoulders to stack above them, bring your arms out in front of you, palms are still spread. And then let's move our elbows as well like hinge joints, and we're going to release our hands. So start to make fists as you draw your hands in like an imaginary bicep curl, but very, very inactive. And then extend the arms, open the palms. 2 more like that. I hope you're all breathing. And giving a little squeeze in of those ankles. I know this is intense stuff. And open. Let's do 1 more. I lost count. Do it with me. And then release. Nice. Bring yourself forward onto your mat. Untuck your toes. And then just take a little tap out of the feet. All right. And then we're going to find our downward dog. So let's tuck our toes under. Take your hands just a little bit forward. Make sure they're at least shoulder distance apart. Again, keep that spreading through the hands and that gripping of the mat so you almost have a little lift of each of your knuckles. Press down, lift your hips, and then lift them up and back, allowing the spine priority. Full stretch in the arms. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. 1 more. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Look forward. And then start to walk your feet all the way to the top of your mat. So just rearrange yourself on your mat so that you're facing the short edge of the mat. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone. Slowly roll the spine all the way up. And loop the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's stretch a little into the top of the foot. So hands to the hips. And then come onto the top of your left foot. So the more you take your foot forward, the more intense that stretch is going to become. Okay, so you might just have your foot right here next to your ankle and you're going, whoo, haven't opened the top of my foot in a few days. So just stretch that out. Don't overstretch. Remember, we're feeling into how we can help and heal our body in these practices. We're not trying to get it to look like something or be like something. We're trying to help and heal. So hold your hips, hands to your hips. And let's take 3 breaths here. Soften your left hip completely. So you're almost dropping into your right hip so that this left leg is completely relaxed and heavy. Nice. Finish off all 3 breaths. Awesome. Release. Other side. Top of right foot. Again, maybe you take it a little forward, maybe not. Adjust as you must. Okay. Relax your right hip, almost like you're sinking a little into your left hip so that that right leg is heavy. Neutral from the navel up. 3 full breaths. Don't forget about a slight drawing and activation through the abdominals and of course the breath. Top row of teeth parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Release that right foot and then look down as you do and notice how potentially you can kind of see a coloration, the color change in your feet, right? So that's the blood kind of running into those areas. So it's this fresh kind of flush or flow of blood into those areas. Nice. Release your hands. Draw both arms up. Take an inhale. And then slowly release all the way down. Exhale. Tuck your chin. Take a little halfway lift. We're going to step our left foot back. Ground your left knee. Press into your front ankle. Try stack your right knee above that ankle. Both hips facing forward. Draw your arms up. Okay, now we've got nice open toes in that back foot. We've got a super connected, strong ankle in this front foot. So let's press down and lift into a high lunge. Okay, both my hips are facing forward and I can really press into those toes now. Squeeze this left thigh, get a strong straight back leg and level off my hips facing forward. Nice. Hold one more breath. Beautiful. Bring your hands down. Ground that knee. Cushion underneath it if you need. Untuck the toes and bring your left hip to stack above that left ankle. Let's get into the back of this right foot. So squish it forward. And then start to curl your toes back. So you might have quite a bent front knee. From here, you just tuck your chin and soften down. Okay, your back line's feeling a little more open today. Maybe that leg is straight. Maybe your hands walk past that foot. Everyone lower your right hip. Tuck your chin, completely soften. 3 full breaths. Finish all 3 rounds, don't rush. Okay, if you took that foot quite a bit forward, you're going to slide it back so you can come into your lunge. Tuck the back toes under, raise the knee. Place the cushion to the side if you used one. Little core connection here. Step left foot to meet right, halfway lift. You can bend your knees, extend your spine. And then to the other side, take your right foot back. Ground your knee. Front knee stacked above its ankle. I'm going to draw both arms up. And then I've got a nice, strong, sturdy ankle in my left leg. I got nice, loose toes to curl under my back leg. And then I'm going to lift up, press down to lift up. Strong, straight back leg. Belly drawing in, tailbone lowering down, and arms reaching up. But shoulders relaxing down, so a lot going on. Nice. Let's take one more full breath. And then come back down. Hands forward. Knee down. Untuck the toes. Half splits, so draw your right hip above your knee. Take that front foot slightly forward. Curl your toes back, pinky side of the foot back as well. Tuck your chin and soften down. Reach your arms forward. Maybe you straighten out that leg. And then just try and level your pelvis a little more. So try make the left hip a little heavier. Beautiful. Look forward. Let's come out. So slide the front foot slightly back. Tuck your toes under, little core connection. Look forward, step forward. Bend knees, halfway lift. Hands could come to shins. And then you're going to move back down again. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands on the floor. Step back into a long downward dog. So now your feet are going to go back just a little more. Okay? I'm not in a plank pose, right? My shoulders aren't above my wrists. They're diagonal, my arms. And I'm sending my sit bones way up high. Little squeeze of the rib cage. Feet parallel to the outer line of the mat and in line with one another. So now we're going to play with the weight between the feet and the hands, the flexibility of the ankles and the wrists, okay? We're only going to do 3 rounds of this. Lower your knees if you need to. I'll tell you when. Okay, propel yourself forward into a high plank for a moment. So now your toes should be pretty tucked under and pressure in your wrists. Okay, here's the options. Lower the knees if you need to lift up, or you're in a hanging cobra so your knees can be off the floor, okay? So knees down or knees up. Okay, press back. I know this is hard, but into your high plank. And then go up and back to your down dog. Anchor your heels towards the floor. 2 more. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, hanging cobra. Micro bend your elbows so you're not locking out into your elbow joints. High plank, inhale. Downward dog, exhale, 1 more. Inhale, high plank. Notice what your wrists and your toes feel like. Hanging cobra, maybe knees are down, little bend in the elbows. And again, high plank. And downward dog, nice. Bring your knees to your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. And take your knees nice and wide apart. So we're coming to sit in a child's pose, which means we're looking to bring our buttocks to our heels. All right, for a lot of us, this is not accessible due to knee flexion, all kinds of things. So you might stack 1 or 2 pillows on top of your legs so that you can rest in the shape. And then reach your arms forward. You could even put a cushion underneath your head if you're quite far from the ground. And just come into a nice supported child's pose. Relax your elbows. And now completely relax your ankles and your wrists. And deepen your breath. Okay, press down to lift up. You're going to remove your cushion. Okay, tuck your toes under, lift up all of your knees and come into a little squat pose. So your heels might be quite high, or try and sink them down. Separate your knees and try and reach your arms forward. Okay, slide your hands back, lift your hips, take your feet hip distance apart. So now your knees are as bent as you need to have your hands down. Okay, we're going to go into a downward dog. So look forward, walk your hands forward. You guys do this all the time in HIIT, but now push back into a down dog. And then we're going to come into a seat. So look forward, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. And then your left knee, rock back, voila, we're in a seat. So ground your sit bones, lift nice and tall, draw both arms up, full stretch. Take a little twist to your left, bringing your left hand behind you, your right arm across. Look over your left shoulder. Beautiful. Look forward, unravel. Again, both arms up and to your right. And then look forward, both arms up. If the seat becomes really uncomfortable, a really nice way to support yourself is to sit on cushions. So maybe now, before we fold forward, I would give yourself maybe a cushion or two underneath the buttocks. Otherwise, you folding yourself forward, hands to the floor, tuck your chin. Nice, come up. Change the cross of your legs. Bring your hands in front of you to interlace your fingers, flip your palms away, and then just round through your spine. Come back to neutral, hands to chest. Change your interlace, and again, press forward, round, breathe into the back of the ribs, back of the lungs. Hands to heart, neutral spine. Draw both arms up, separate the hands, and again, fold forward. And slowly come up. Release your feet. Bring yourself to lie down. Maybe you hold onto your legs. Little bit of core activation to bring you down to the floor. Bring your feet into bridge alignment. So heels are quite close to buttocks. Outer ankles in line with outer hips. You can take your hands to kind of feel that. Feet are parallel to the mat, the long edge of the mat as well as with one another. We're going to bring both arms up overhead. And then raise your hips into an easy bridge pose. So just activating through the glutes. Lift the chest and just take a nice stretch of the belly. Soften your belly completely. Alright. And then bring your arms up overhead. Slowly roll the spine down. Hug both knees into chest. Take a little squeeze. And then just an easy little rock side to side. And then we'll set up for our Shavasana. So if you have a wall, nice opportunity to just put your buttocks, your feet against the wall, right? Otherwise, let's just take a nice symmetrical shape. Cushion could be behind the head. My feet are flopping out to the side. My palms are up and broad across my chest. A little tug of my chin means the back of my neck stays long. Close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Shavasana. Complete stillness. Breath threading in and out. No movement in the body. No attachment to thought. Just complete stillness and rest. without moving anything. Take a nice full deep breath in. Full exhale out through the mouth. And you can start to move your fingers and your toes, your hands, your feet, your wrists, your ankles, your arms and your legs and your knees and your elbows. Maybe bend the knees and take a nice stretch with the arms or a stretch forward with the legs. And a little full body squeeze as the knees come in. And then you can kind of just roll over to one side to press yourself up into a seat. And let's bring one hand and the other across your heart space as you close your eyes. And simple yet meaningful thank you to yourself. So as you would thank someone else who perhaps did you a favor, did something kind towards you, helped you with something, thank yourself. And I thank you all for sharing your practice today, whether it's now with me or catching up. I wish you a beautiful evening further. Thank you, everyone. End of another day, almost the end of another week. Hard to believe, but true. I hope that you all enjoyed that. Yeah, and that your body got a little bit of heat, that you got into your joints a little bit. Let me know, everyone. How was that for you? Did you enjoy it? And yeah, I got one more session for the week. That's tomorrow, 12:30, our intermediate session. So if you're keen to get a little deeper, then join me tomorrow. It's not really, harder. I wouldn't say the intermediate is like a harder class. Yes, it's a little bit more challenging, but it's more about nuance. It's more about the small things, the quality of our movement that we really get into a lot more when you build more connections in your body. Bernice, such a pleasure. Lizanne, Teresa, Lisa, such a pleasure. Michelle, thank you. Little places we take for granted. Exactly, Michelle. And it is, things are busy, things slip off our radar. But really, it's those little things that we miss now, right, that become something that you miss for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And by the time you're like 70 or 80 and you're sitting with intense arthritis or something in your hands or your wrists, then you're going to remember it every moment. So rather now do the work. It might seem a little tedious at times, but I really like to think of this work as like the biggest treat I can give myself. It's self-massage. It's self-healing. What a more beautiful thing to gift yourself with. Such a pleasure, everyone. Gonna sleep well tonight. Good, Lisa. Good. Caitlin, so glad you enjoyed that. Sandra, Carla, wonderful, everyone. Roz, nice to have you as usual. Lauren, such a pleasure. Asheen, yay, amazing session. I'm so glad, Asheen. Guys, whatever you enjoyed in the session, make a note of it. Write it down. Let it be something that can be a tool in your toolbox of self-care. So next week, Siri makes you do, I don't know, what are those walk out push-up things and burpees and all of that, and you're putting this intense strain on your wrist, and you go, oh, my wrists are so sore, right? Then you go, ooh, last week we did joints and wrists with Kathleen. Let me go back and look and read what those exercises were. because now you've got that tool to do it yourself, right? You don't need to wait for someone else to lead you through that practice. That is now ingrained within yourself and your own responsibility for your own well-being. Such a pleasure, everyone, really. So nice to see all the thank yous. Thank you for joining. Alex Briggs, wow, that was really different for me, but really good. Thank you for that feedback, Alex. I would love to hear a little more. If you'd like, you could just comment on here for everyone to read. I'm sure, these platforms are so great because we learn from one another. Otherwise, you can send me a direct message, and I would love to hear more of your thoughts on the practice and your experience. Thank you for joining. Bev, time to get the flights. I know, just like that. She namaste. Nikki Malabra, thanks so much. First one and loved it. I'm so glad, Nikki. Yay! I hope the bug has bitten and that I'll see you back again next week. Beverly, make sure to join you every day to stretch my body, because there are parts of my body, for example, my hands and fingers, toes and feet, you never think it also needs a stretch. Everything needs a stretch. Right? The muscles on my hands are no different to the muscles on my back, to the muscles on my belly, to the muscles on my legs, to the muscles on my face, right? It's all the same tissue. It's all the same vibration. And so the bigger parts are obviously more obvious, right? I'm going to feel a really sore bicep more than a sore finger. Or we're kind of busy and we don't have that awareness. If you haven't watched my Jeff Ed talk on awareness or more mindfulness and meditation, please go check out that video. I give like a few little tips and tricks into how to make yourself more aware. And that completely applies to the smaller parts of your body. Pedro, so wonderful to start feeling your body's inner flow, learning new poses each time. Today was the standing 4 position, which was awesome for tight hammies. Amazing, 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 Pedro. I literally get goose flesh from your guys' comments. Like, it means so much. It actually makes me emotional that you guys are loving the classes so much. Michelle, such a pleasure. Kanisa, such a pleasure. Lizette, good stretching. Caitlin, my wrist was so tight today, but the stretch really helped. Amazing, I'm so glad. Liam and Julie, my Saturday session, good. You guys must remember that you can revisit these anytime. Make a little note. Jeff Flow on Thursday was great. I would love to redo that session. And so that you've got them, right? You're on the web app. You can revisit them. You've got your membership. You've got your access. I'm going to stop chatting because I always chat too long. Guys, I do have a few requests for kind of the theme of next week. There is someone in the running just because I feel like I need it. I'm not going to give away too much. But if you have any specific requests, let me know. This week was obviously joints, wrists and ankles, mostly, as you might have noticed. But let me know if you have anything specific going on in your body, and then we will revisit that next week potentially. But there's quite a strong theme going. I think you're all going to love it. So stay tuned. And then, yeah, other than that, stay in contact, guys. Let us know if there's anything we can help you with, assist you with a web app. There's so much information on the page. You guys know you want to be part of that, because soon, if you're not on the app, on the web app, then you're gonna miss out. So I don't want to miss any of you. Make sure that you set up for next week. I hope to see a few of you at the intermediate session tomorrow at 12:30. And other than that, I'm gonna stop chatting. Oh, here's Jono's popped on. Watch out for the new time starts next week. I will inform you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Yes, so I didn't want to say too much about that. Jono is going to let you know all about that. A few exciting changes. I don't get to do the reveal. Jono would do the reveal, but once he's done it, I think you guys are going to be over the moon. So yeah, I hope you have a restful night, a restful sleep, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a beautiful evening. Ciao.